I said we're seeing the movie and we saw a situation where a man seeking the quest for power.
Please tap on your screen.
Seeking the quest for power went to a
close to your mouth, please.
A juju server and asked to be younger. And
when you are talking about a movie, you should be able to talk about the title.
Ile Owo.
Good.
Ile Owo, that's the title of the movie on Netflix. And I quickly drew the attention of the reminder.
Okay.
And I said, these are some mistakes that our forefathers.
What is the movie all about?
It's all about seeking.
Let the viewers know what the movie is all about.
Okay. Now, the movie is all about a young man, going to meet a priestess, seeking to be ever young. And the priestess told him that you came too late, but your children after you will be ever young. Meaning, even while in their old age, they will still be young. The man did not ask for wealth or anything, but he's just asking for long life for his family. And what the priestess did was to bring out some deities, and when she brought them out, she told the man that,
drop a comment so we can know that you are interacting with us. Please drop a comment.
And she told the man that your children have every 25 years, your children, one of your sons will be used as a sacrifice to renew this covenant, and one of your daughters will be married to the deity. Now, this is a covenant entered by a man unknowingly, thinking he's trying to help the family. And if you look at Africa today, especially here in Nigeria, you see mistakes our forefathers made in the quest for power, in the quest for, oh, my family is suffering, let me enter into a covenant like this for my family. So now the argument we had was, you were saying something about covenants are not broken, that they are carried over, that it might stop with somebody that is stronger but will not carry over. So I want to know, if covenants are not broken but stopped at a particular time, why is it being carried over?
Okay, now I think I get where you are coming from now. I was asking you, how did the movie end? And you said the covenant was broken.
Yes.
And then nothing happened to the girls.
Nothing happened to the girl.
And I told you, covenants can never be broken.
Yes.
The moment covenants are being made, you can never break them. Now, it might look as if nothing happened, and that is because the person the covenant was to affect spiritually is aware of him or her own self, so he can protect himself. So you know what the deities does? The deities took a law. Do you know when you go to a football game, when it's some people are like benched for the heat part of the game. So when the person that the covenant is supposed to affect is spiritually strong, the deities can actually take a back row, waiting for that person to die. And when that person, definitely they know you can never live forever. So the moment the person die, if the children of that person, if they are not powerful enough or spiritually aware enough, the deity will come back. And that is why you see in a family, there is a certain pattern that happens in a family, but when it gets to a particular generation, it affected everybody, but it didn't affect one particular person. If you find out that person is actually spiritually aware of himself, and so that thing that happened to the rest people is not affecting. So you find out that one person is the only richest person in the family. They will say, hey, they use money. He's not using money. The person must have gone somewhere to protect himself against the covenant that has been made in the family that is supposed to affect him and is no longer affecting him. That is supposed to affect her and is no longer affecting her.
Okay, that's in all sense that person
Covenant cannot
exempted
be broken. The person has exempted himself
from that
covenant.
Okay.
As a result of how spiritually aware that person is.
Okay, so now I understand, because I was confused when you said covenant cannot be broken.
Pastors will always deceive you. He say, I come for deliverance. Come for deliverance. Let us deliver you. Let's deliver you. The truth is this. You may be given an opportunity to be delivered.
Okay.
But in the watered, look at something that most people don't know. In the watered, I don't tell people that come, I will deliver you. No. I need your consent. Number one. I also need to be sure that you want to be delivered. If I don't have your consent and you are not sure that you will be delivered, it will be difficult for me to be able to do anything. But some pastors, they claim the role of God, and you know what they do? They end up saying, you are delivered, this, that. I rebuke it. Whereas the person you are trying to deliver is not even sure if you are able to do that. Even at the end of the day, you are moving from one church to another without being delivered. And so you see the case of, let's take the case of Rose, for example. Rose only heard me talk about fruit sacrifice. She immediately keyed and did it. And you think that what happened when I did the Rose fruit sacrifice was just coincidence? No. Because Rose is spiritually aware. That is one. It has affected many people that benefited from that ritual. Because not only was Rose sacrifice accepted, Porter, for the first time, I saw a different dimension of God coming to earth to hear me, to deliver all I'm saying. In my first encounter with God, it came as a form of heavy wind. You've experienced it with me. When I say, okay, I'm ready for this, I want God, come down. You see the heavy wind dropping on the sea. Sometimes you see the sea following me, the wind following me. But for the first time, I encountered the spirits in a different dimension. And that is why most spiritually aware people use the word, you cannot know God, finish. Because the way it appears to you is different. It's going to be different from the way it's going to appear to another person. You get it now? Good. So covenant can never be broken. Don't tell me you cannot end any covenant. As long as you are the one, as long as you are not the one that started the covenant, you were not the one that entered the covenant, you are not your great grandfather, you are not exempted from the repercussion or the consequences when that covenant is broken. And that is why when you are born into a family, where you are into a community, because you are not in control of who your family should be, where you should born into, the community you should born into, the country you should be born into, by nature of spirituality, you are bound to follow whatever covenant that has been made. But what exempts you from that covenant is you establishing another covenant.
Good. That's where I'm going to. I wanted to ask a question. Like in the case of Rose, what she did
was to override
the
covenant that has already been made in her family.
Yes, in her absence. Now, the question I wanted to ask you was, that which she has done, is it not something that we extend to our children, and that covenant from where she's coming from not affecting her own lineage now? what she did now is like raising another covenant, like you rightly said, which is going to affect generations yet unborn.
Okay, now you see what Rose did was not for her generation.
Okay.
She didn't tell me she was going to raise an altar for her generation.
Okay.
Rose did what is called a fruit sacrifice for her own self and preferably her children.
Okay.
Covenants are different from altar raising.
Okay.
Covenant, like you see that man, I don't know where that man that came with us did a covenant that day. I didn't tell you. He did a covenant. He made a covenant with the spirit of the seas. And he even sent me a message. Sir, that covenant, did you think it's heard? You stood before the sea and before Uzihben, and you uttered some words, and you think whether God has accepted. It has accepted, and it's going to affect his generation. For whatever covenant he made that point will affect his generation.
Okay.
And that is why when I was growing up, I understood the pattern of my family. I had to establish a new covenant. It's called raising an altar. Do you know why I tell people to pay me 250,000 naira for them to raise an altar? You can't stand up and want to go to and raise an altar. No. In the old, altars were raised with blood, human blood, animals' blood.
Yes, animals' blood.
Sacrifices were made. People precisely actually made altars, made covenants with sweats, with pain, with happiness, with joy, with triumphant. And that is why you see our patriarchs, Abraham had a covenant with God, raised an altar in the effect of that covenant. What did Isaac do?
Nothing.
Isaac understood my father had made a covenant with a God. I am bound to that covenant, but I want to establish my covenant with you, that same God, but not according to the terms and condition that was active in the covenant my father made. So the covenant between God and Abraham was, leave your father's house and go to a place I will show you, and if you obey, I will establish your seed. You will be father of many nations. Every covenant comes with a promise, but the promise that God made with Abraham and the covenant established by God with Abraham is not following Isaac. Isaac is a byproduct of the covenant made with Abraham. Isaac is a result of the covenant. And so the covenant made with Abraham and God is that Abraham will be fathers of all nations. So Isaac is already a result. Jacob, Ishmael, down to Israel, to Afghanistan, to Uzbekistan, to Arab, all the Arab nations, they are the byproduct of the covenant made with Abraham. Now, are you going to remain a byproduct of the covenant your father made, or you want to establish another covenant? And so Isaac established a covenant with God. Joseph raised his own covenant. You get what I'm saying now? So also with Ishmael. Now look at it. When Ishmael's covenant was made, you know what God said? He said, go and carry your son. He said, where is your son? He said, my son is crying. My master have driven me from the house, and there is no water, no food. I don't want to watch my son die. He said, go take the child. That is well. And a well appear. He said, I have established my covenant with Ishmael. He said, by the sword shall he live and survive. He said, through him I will raise how many princes? 7 princes, and they will be the most richest in all the land. Till today, the prince of Arabia remain the richest men on earth. Until the world will end, that covenant is established. But guess what? The lineage of Ishmael failed to establish a new covenant until Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came and he established a covenant, and that covenant is what is going. Okay. So covenant cannot be broken when they have been made, But covenant can actually be edited. Let me use that word. When you are done editing a movie, something is wrong, you can refix it. You can refix a covenant that is happening in your family if it's not going to your destiny, because each and every one of us have a different destiny.
You know, when you were talking, I was trying to look at some Bible verse on this covenant with Abraham, and I saw some things there, and your explanation gave me a bit of confidence and a bit of steadiness, like, okay, yes, is in line with what
I read the Bible 4 times.
Is in line with what
I may not be a Christian,
sorry,
but
I
understand the Bible very well, and I understand the Quran to the core. Even if Maro decides to look me with bad eye because I ask her to monitor the camera and not consign me.
Okay, so thank you very much for that. Now the next question is on praise. We're having an argument on
We're not having an argument. We're having a discussion.
Okay, we were having a discussion. Sorry, it wasn't an argument. We're having a discussion on praise. And you were saying something about praises was not the reason the walls of Jericho came down. I need you to throw more light. There were some things that you said. I need to throw more light on it, because I can't understand. While we're growing up in Christianity, we were made to understand that when the children of God were praising God round the walls of Jericho 7 times and it came down, the walls of Jericho came down. So I want to understand when you say praise, and also we're made to understand that praises move God.
All right. Okay, that should be Joshua, right?
Yeah.
Joshua chapter 6. When we read Joshua chapter 6, and now when you read 6 verse 1, it says, now Jericho was securely shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out and none came in. And the Lord said to Joshua, see, I have given Jericho into your hand, its king and the mighty men of valor. You shall march round the city, all you men of war, and you shall go round around the city once. This you shall do 6 days. And 7 priests shall bear 7 trumpets and rams horn before the axe. But the 7th day you shall march round the city. You shall march round the city 7 times, and the priest shall blow the trumpet. It shall come to pass, when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when you hear the sound of the trumpet, that all the people shall shout with a great shout. Then the wall of the city will fall down flat, and the people shall go up, every man straight before him. Now, when you read this Bible, I am not seeing anywhere it is written, they praise, they sang, the Holy Ghost come down. It was not praise. The trumpet that was sounded were trumpet of war. They were not praising God. If they say that they marched around Jericho and that was when the wall fell down, is a lie. We've just read the Bible. They marched around Jericho for a purpose. Number one, they need to know the vastness and the magnitude of how big the city was. So when they are to fight, they already know the escape around the city. Number two, it is to make the children of Jericho feel as if these people, they are mad, they don't know what they are doing, they are wasting their time. Because when you are in a city and it's fenced and people are marching around day one, you will assume that these people, they are mad. So the idea was to make the people feel as if these people, they are weak, they don't know anything. So as at that 7 days they were marching around the city, the armies of Jericho, they were just relaxed. But you know what happened? When you are marched around the city by the instruction of God, you are supposed to be weak. Good. But the Bible said, He said, for those who trust in their God, he will what? Renew their what? Their strength. He said they shall walk but not, and said they shall run and shall not be weak. And so when they were walking around the walls of Jericho, they were becoming stronger. And on the 7th day, when the trumpet of war, it was not trumpet of praise. He didn't tell them shout a sound of praise. No, because they were in front of war. They were in front of calamity. Any pastor that come to tell you that praise move God, praise does not move God. What move God is your heart. And when you have a good heart, and when you serve God, when you obey his command, when you follow the right things, when you are good to your neighbor, God bless you. When the blessing come, you go back to him in praise. It is in appreciation that you apply for more. You say appreciation is application for more. And that is why people keep praising God and praising God. Nigeria become worse and worse. Because praise is not what moves God, is your work that move God. And that's why the Bible said, I am he that giveth you what? Power to do what? To make wealth. God has given you power. God did not give you power to go and sing praises and go and set up church. Strength and power was given to you to go and work, to design technology, to design the right system, to have the right knowledge, the right idea, to make the world a better place. But you left what your assignment, and you think it's so. Sing hallelujah, amen, hallelujah, amen, hallelujah, amen. Sing hallelujah, amen. For how many times we'll be shouting hallelujah in Nigeria? What is happening? Tinubu is taking the office. What is happening? Boko Haram is taking everywhere. You guys think Nigeria is safe. We are just at the mercy of God. Not the number of praise we are giving, but because men like Uzihben is rising. Men like Peter Obi is rising. Men like TB Joshua rose. Men like Besne Dausa rose. So there is grace still on the side of Nigeria. Not the number of praise. Because I will tell you, the reason why we remain where we are today is we think raising up altars and doing that is what? No. The strength has been given to you. So praise does not move God. It is work that moves God. This was the errors the first Christians were making. He said, that was why it was written. He said, faith without work is what? Useless. If it's praise that moved God, who told you it was the praise of David that moved God? Adam was not a praiser. Adam was not praising God. The Bible says in the cool of the evening, God comes. It was not the praise of Adam that was bringing God. It was the heart of Adam. You think God moves in noise? When you want to be one with nature, why do you want to go to a place that is quiet? And you think it is when you start beating drum. Listen, the human mind and the human brain reacts to how many things? 2 things. If I want to control you today, there are 2 things I can use to control you. You know what is that? Sound and picture. Sound and picture. If this thing we are saying now is only audio, most people will walk away. But because there is audio and picture, people want to stay. And so you know what happens when somebody holds a microphone? Oh Lord, you are being so good. You are so good to me. Do you remember what happened? You know, yesterday you were alive. Today you are alive. You think you don't want to give God the praise. You know what happened? People become emotional and they start crying. And you know what you hear? Oh, God, move. Shut up your mouth. God is the one that decides when you should die, when you should be alive. It doesn't matter whether you praise or not. You will still be alive to fulfill the message of God. You are wasting that 2 hours that you're supposed to use to design the right idea, to bring light to mankind, to go and sing and raise your hand and cry.
So in all essence, what you're trying to tell us now is
praise. What I'm trying to drive right now is that praise comes after work. David was a man after the heart of God was not because he was a psalmist. It was because he had a heart of repentance. Every single psalm David wrote was, number one, when David slept with the wife of Uriah, was he praising God? No. But when the punishment of sleeping with the wife of Uriah fell upon the child that Uriah's wife gave birth to David, what was David doing? Lamenting. Was he praising? No. It was a psalm of prayers. But after the child died, he realized that God have answered his prayer. What did David do? He praised God. The Bible said he was dancing. He wore a new cloth and he was praising God because he was appreciating God for what? Forgiving his sin. Praise does not move God. It is your walk with God. That's what moves God. Because let's see, you call yourself Christians, you are following Christ. Tell me, which part of the New Testament did we see Jesus Christ praising God and dancing and playing instruments? None. So who are you following? Is it Jesus Christ or the Roman religion, the Roman Catholic religion? When you go to the old, the only time you see the Christians worshiping is when they sing hymns, and those hymns were hymns of encouragement, of thanksgiving, because thanksgiving is application for what? For more. So praise does not move God. It is your walk with God that move God. It is when God has blessed you that you cannot go back in appreciation. But yes, we understand when you appreciate what happened, more comes. I don't know if I was able to answer that.
Yeah, you were able to answer that because so many talk on.
Please tap on your screen. I'm not seeing likes. I'm not seeing likes. Tap on your screen. Share. There is no single share
on this praise thing. Anyways, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I hope you guys are enjoying yourself. If you have questions, I don't know if you have
any question, you can ask your questions. This is a podcast. I'm going to measure your name
and your questions will be answered. Okay. Okay, we're talking about Christianity in Nigeria also. We're talking about Christianity in Nigeria.
Be audible because of the TikTok people.
We're talking about Christianity in Nigeria. Hello everybody, can you hear me?
George, talk. God bless you.
We're talking about Christianity in Nigeria, and you were saying a lot of persons are leaving Christianity to other religions. So I need you to Josh, talk. Sorry, I don't sorry about that. Okay.
Okay, we can hear. Okay, good.
Okay, thank you very much.
God bless
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you.
Please
you,
share.
Sky. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Josh Talk. Well, so I was asking a question. I said today was just all about different talk here and there, and we talked about Christianity in Nigeria. I want to understand, when you say Christianity in Nigeria is going down, I want to understand that, because while I was still in Winners Chapel, we have a lot of people, a lot of new converts, pagans, people that don't go to church, some from other churches, some from people that don't go to church at all.
You've already answered the question.
Coming to Christianity. So now, why will you say that Christianity in Nigeria is failing?
Okay, now let me say this. If you have any question, please drop your question. Let me say this. Is Christianity actually growing? The answer to that question is yes, Christianity is actually failing. We are talking about people giving their life to Christ. And I told you that every blessed day that is passing by, Christianity is diminishing. Christianity is going down. And you say people are giving their life to Christ every day. People are not giving their life to Christ every day. You know what people are doing? They call it recycling. My mother gave birth to me in CAC. My mother is no longer in CAC. My mother was born into Anglican family. She is now from CAC. She goes to service in Mountain of Fire, Redeemed Christian Church, and now the Lord's choosing. In the bid that we have to put ourselves everywhere because we don't know where the problem is coming from. When you go to Redeemed Christian Church, each street has different churches. Winners Chapel is you know what? I was a member of Winners Chapel. People were doing competition to bring people to church. They were dragging people from other churches to come to church. Now, when you look at what is happening in 2021, in 2022 and 2023, people are falling away. God bless you. God bless you, Michael, for purchasing an auto renewal subscription. God bless you. Thank you for the support. People are falling away from church now. Do you get it now? People are falling away from church because more people are realizing that it's been a scam on their own spirituality. Majority of them that are leaving church, they are also going the wrong way. Some are now entering the worship of deities and their forefathers, which is not the right way. So when I tell you that Christianity is going down in Nigeria, it is going down because Nigeria is a country where Christianity is number one religion, right? Mm-hmm. Does it amount to the growth that we are experiencing in this country? It doesn't. It doesn't amount to the growth we are experiencing in Nigeria. So when I tell you that Christianity is going down, I mean what I'm saying. It is going down. There is no growth in Christianity today. You have any other question? Except you are carried away.
Okay, you're saying there is no growth in Christianity today. I don't like. I just gave you an instance of.
Talk to the mic.
I gave you an instance of while in Winners Chapel that if when you go for evangelism, it's not only for those that attend other churches. We have pagans, we have people that don't believe in God being drawn into the fold. So I still do not understand why you use that word. Christianity is failing in Nigeria.
The Bible said until the message of Christ is preached across the whole world, the world will not end. It's obvious almost more than 90% of the world is covered with the gospel.
Okay.
And every day people are falling out of Christianity.
How?
Every day. Do you go to church again?
No.
They've lost you. Do I go to church?
No.
They've lost me. But you would think more people are entering. The people that are entering, are they entering with the full knowledge of God, or they are entering into more ignorance? Have you asked yourself that?
Okay, when you say ignorance, I want to understand the ignorance.
The knowledge of the certain things you know today. Were you aware of those things while a Christian?
Not all.
Were you aware of those things as a Christian?
Not all of them.
The things I have taught you over this period, were you aware of those things as a Christian?
No.
Good. If I did not explain the walls of Jericho and this praise of God, were you aware of that before?
No.
Do you know how many billions of Christians that think that the walls of Jericho was actually pulled down because of the praise of the children of Israel? So what do you call that? So you now see that Christians are the only religion on earth that are actually perishing because they lack knowledge. The Bible said, my people perish due to lack of knowledge. I just said more than 1 billion Christians still till today think that the walls of Jericho was brought down by the praise of the people. People thought today that because David was a psalmist was why God loved but they didn't know that it was the heart of David, the heart of repentance, that brought about the love. Why God called David the man after my own heart.
I understand that part. I understand that part very well after the deep explanation on praises and how praise the word praises does not move God. I understand that part very well now.
Okay.
And thank you for giving an insight to that.
Thank you.
That whole thing.
Anybody have any? If you have any question, you can throw your. If you have a question, please ask.
Just talk. If you have a question, you can throw in your question. We can
see it on the large screen, so we can answer.
Yes, you can throw in your question, and your questions will be answered.
Man Jesus, God bless you. Man Jesus. Number 1 is Rose. Man Jesus, God bless you.
Spirituality.
A lot of people even carry Bibles without knowing what is the. Yes, George. Most people, they carry this Bible without understanding what they are carrying. They don't even know the origin. Do you know that more than 1 billion Nigerians, more than 1 billion Christians, they don't know that the book of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John were not written by Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Majority of them don't know that the account of Jesus Christ, the mythology of Jesus Christ, was not even written 30 years after he had gone. It was written almost 200 years after he had gone. The account of this man and the disciples of Jesus Christ were as a result of this was what we heard they did. Eyewitnesses from one person to another. And you know what it means when you are telling a story? Like now, if I tell you, Josh Talk, to narrate what happened in this our podcast, you are not going to narrate everything that happened.
There will be dots.
You are going to say, okay, I think Uzihben was wearing something like gold. Maybe because of the way the picture is, you will think it's gold I'm wearing, but I'm not wearing gold. You will think I'm wearing a black trouser, but I'm actually wearing a dark navy blue. So you are likely not to give the exact everything that happens. So what make you ever think that the gospel of Jesus Christ in the 5 gospels were actually what truly happened? Don't you think that the Romans, they have more explanation to do about the gospel of Jesus Christ? Yes. So they are carrying what they don't understand. Tomorrow now I will die. They will now start lying on Uzihben high that Uzihben did a miracle in the bush, and fish swallowed human being and vomited human being, because they want to make the religion look bigger and better than another. But thank God, our holy book will be written in the period of me being alive. The day I die, the revelation stops. Nobody can add anything to Nima Sedani. Your next question, please.
All right. Thank you very much. My next question is on spirituality and marriage.
Yes, there are lots of contradiction in the account of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Not even that one. Where you begin to lose your hope is the lies that Paul gave. Paul lied 3 times in the accounts of his encounter with God. Paul lied 3 times. Paul gave 3 different accounts to 3 different sets of people on 3 different occasions about how he encountered Christ. Yes, go and read the Bible. The story he gave the children of the Christians were different from what he told the Romans, was different from what he told the king of Agrippa. Go and check. Your next question.
Okay, I said my next question is on spirituality and marriage.
Okay.
Now, when I say spirituality and marriage, is a 2-word coined together. Spirituality and marriage, and so many so many situations. Okay, while I was not married, I was a Christian. I was going to church, and even while I was married, the first few months of being married, I was going to church. But some 4 5 okay, no, some 1 year down the line, I was stopped going to church.
You were stopped?
Okay, the reason why I said I was stopped,
I didn't stop you from going to church.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Don't say I use my power of husband to stop you. You can go to church if you want to go to church.
Don't get me wrong.
Salvation is personal, spirituality is personal.
Good. Now, sorry to use that word, I was stopped going to church. And what I'm trying to say is, now, when I got married to a man. I know him to he has said a lot of things while we're dating. He said a lot of things about him being practicing Satanism and Buddhism, was once an Islamic clergy or something, practicing Islam. But I met him going to church, and even while I met the mother was asking me a lot of questions. Do you know that he was once a Muslim? I said yes. He said something about
you met me going to church,
as in not met you like going to church. I met you not in line with any of those, but you were going to church.
I've never gone to church.
You went to church your previous marriage, right?
My previous marriage, I was going to church. I went to church because my ex-wife wanted me to go to church.
Okay.
I went to church because you wanted me to go to church.
Oh, okay. You went to church because I wanted you to go.
I was not going to church when I married you now.
Okay, because
before I married you, I was not going to church. You were the one that took me to church. I stopped going to church since 2019.
Okay.
Even the pastor I was squatting with, I don't go to their church.
No, I'm aware of that.
I've never gone to church in Lagos. You are the first person that took me to church in Lagos. Okay, it was Doloro, and I did not go again. That one was a program.
Okay, so you stopped going to church. Now, now how do you correlate spirituality to marriage?
I don't get your question. Ask it. Let me understand what you're asking.
Okay, I should ask it. When I say spirituality and marriage, some persons in marriage are blinded in two sides. The reason why I say some persons in marriage are blinded in two sides is, I was giving an example of, okay, let's say a Muslim marrying a Christian. You see the wife going to church and the man going to a mosque. These are two different beliefs coming together. Now in our case, if I start going to church, you are watered. Indirectly, I should be watered.
Indirectly
or directly, I should be watered, which I am. I'm watered.
No, you should not.
I should not be.
My faith should not define your faith. It's a personal journey. Marriage should not define which religion you should be.
That is because where I'm asking
if you are a watered because I am a watered, it means if anything should happen to my marriage with you, you go back to Christianity. Will you?
Okay, so that's the.
If I was to divorce you today, will you go back to Christianity or will you remain a watered member?
If you were to divorce me today,
yes.
No.
You will go back to Christianity?
No.
You will not go back to Christianity. Good. Meaning you are devoted to my message. It doesn't matter whether I am married to you or not. See, let me tell you something. One of the things that is killing us, especially most Christians and everybody, let me not put it, not look as if I'm always attacking Christians. We are selfish in nature. Okay. It is hard to see people that are not selfish. You are going to that church because he's your husband. You are going to that church because he's your wife. Now, will you keep going to the church if something happened to your marriage? I use an example. For example, a case of a man that has grown-up kids getting married to a woman that already have children, automatically those children becomes the man's children. If something happened to the marriage, will the woman allow the man access to the children to still call the children my children? No. Meaning your union with that man is on a selfish ground. It's on a selfish ground. So spirituality is a personal race. It doesn't matter whether I'm your husband or not, because if you are in the watered religion, because Uzihben is a fine man, because he can teach, you will never. That's the major reason why only few people in the watered are getting the blessings of God, because they are there because they found the truth, not because Uzihben is a fine guy, not because the guy can teach very well, not because he's my friend, let me remain. I know of people that are in the water today because they don't want to hurt me. That's why they are in the water. You are deceiving yourself. You cannot be in the water because let me just remain. I don't want to hurt him. I don't want to feel bad. You are deceiving yourself because I'm getting my blessing. You are the one deceiving yourself.
All right. So back to the audience on TikTok. Please, if you have any question, please you can throw your questions, and the reminder is here to answer some of those questions.
So none of you have any question you want to ask?
That's the reason of doing this broadcast on TikTok. Does water have
George
origin?
talk. I don't.
On water, does water have origin?
Please rephrase your question. Let's be real. What's your question? Ask your question.
You are here. We can see you. Your question,
how can
please.
one do spiritual cleansing? How can one do spiritual cleansing? It depends on the religion you believe. It depends on the religion you believe. Spiritual cleansing differ from different belief to different ethnicity and different religion. Like, where does water come from? Okay, that is a mystery that is beyond human. So you cannot get the answer from me. No one knows where water comes from. No one even knows where anything came from. No one knows where the earth came from.
You just found yourself in.
You were born into this world. Don't scatter the world you were born into. Don't burn bush. Don't cut down trees. Don't spill oil. Don't kill. Preserve what you've met and leave it for others to come and enjoy. Even from the biblical description of creation, God met water. Good. When you look at the biblical account of the creation of mankind,
You get confused, my dear.
it's not about confusion. God did not meet water.
God created water.
God did not create water. God is water. But Christians will not believe it. But it's been written all over the Bible, proving, and God even calling himself water. The Bible said, children of Israel, know this, because you have forsaken me, you are forsaking your Lord, the living water. The water of the, how did he put it? He said the fountain of the living water. So God has several times in the Bible called himself water. And that was why anytime Jesus Christ do a miracle, he must go to the sea. You get it? So that's why in the watered religion we refer to God as the ancient waters, the ancient spirits.
What kind of affirmation can one do to open pathway to success?
What kind of affirmation can one do to open paths to success? There is no kind of affirmation. Just say, I want success, and work towards success, and you will get success. If I write all the affirmation in this world unto you, and you are sitting in your bedroom, you will never be successful in this life. Go and work. While you are working, You will be affirming success. This work will be productive, and productivity will come. What's your take on alligator pepper? Good. I did a video that have caused an uproar on the internet in regard the actual use of alligator pepper, and I've not been able to elaborate on that, but I will. The alligator pepper is one of the most dangerous items used spiritually by our forefathers. The alligator pepper does not have anything good wrapped around it. Rather, it's more of like a thing of, the only thing good about alligator pepper is its protective nature. So when something happened in the community and they are asking who did it, nobody want to talk. They use alligator pepper to swear, and the alligator pepper can send thunder, illness to the person. Alligator pepper is like a body guide. When you visit someone and you want to go, they pray for you with kola nut and they accompany with alligator pepper. Go, your road and your movement will be smooth. The kola nut is like what the prayer they are giving you, but the alligator pepper is to accompany it, to make the prayer stronger so that you can be protected. Because nobody wants to hear the news that after he visited him or her, something bad happened to him along the road. So they send kola nut and alligator pepper with you. But now they are now telling us that you can use alligator pepper to call wealth. Don't try it too. Alligator pepper does not have any spiritual capacity to draw wealth. It only has the capacity to heal, to protect, and to defend. By defend, it can kill someone. By protection, it protects you from evil. But to draw wealth is not. Our forefathers never used alligator pepper to draw wealth. When they want to draw wealth, they do what is called libation. They carry drink and pour on the ground and pray that the earth should be fertile. It was not alligator pepper they were using. No. God bless you, Moti Zilonia. It was not alligator pepper. Another question, please.
Okay, I want to ask you one funny question.
Okay.
About, we're talking about religion, we talked about Christianity, and most times you always talk about different other religion
Okay.
And then I've heard you say one day about Buddhism, telling them that those gods, they shouldn't be worshipped, but should worship the one true God. So now my question is, do all of this religion, Buddhism and the rest of them, do they all lead to God? Can they all lead to God? Even the water.
When I talk, the mic is on my mouth.
Even the water, can all of this religion lead to God?
All right. So your question is, all of this religion that is existing on earth, do they all lead to God? Another person is asking the question, well, since it has been the capacity to defend, protect, since it has the capacity
to defend, protect, and also for cause.
Yes, you can use it to cause also. Good. Now your question is, do all this religion lead to God? Yes. It doesn't matter which religion you belong. But why do we come online to preach? Stop doing this. Christians are doing this. Muslims are doing this. It's because there are natural laws that follow spirituality. Our different ideology and religion may decide to give us a different law, but there are natural laws like, if you don't work, you cannot eat. It is when you work that the spirit can do what? Bless the handwork, the work of your hand. So all religion leads to God. And don't ask me who God is. No one knows.
But you just said God is water.
Yeah.
So why would you say God is water?
Yeah, because God is water. I was trying to explain the definition of God according to the account of the creation of mankind. When someone asks, God met water, God did not met water. If water was the only thing that was not created, it means God is water, because they said the Spirit of God was over the surface of the deep, and was the face of the water, the Spirit of God. And God was referring to himself as us in the water. We refer to God as spirits with an S, waters with an S. And even in Islam, they refer to God as we, they, because it is all in one.
Okay.
Another question is coming up. Anoruku said, I think it can still be used for positive affirmation as well due to its power, right? And I am talking from what my forefathers did. If you want to try it, there is nothing wrong. All I know is that my forefathers use it not to pray for people to succeed. It was used as an ingredient for protection and to lay curse on people and to send people out from their house when they are going on a journey. Okay. Josh talks quickly, sir. These days, the social media seem to be full of people claiming to be called. How will one know he or she is called, especially in the water religion? Okay, in the watered religion, if you mean if your question is focused on our religion, the watered religion, we are all called. It is our ability to embrace our call and worship the waters, the ancient spirits, the way that the messenger and the prophet of the watered religion has asked you to, is what define your true spirituality. Now, each and every one of us is embedded inside of us that divine wisdom and knowledge of the spirit. And also, it is in different degrees. The degree I am in the spiritual knowledge is different from the degree you are in the spiritual knowledge. And so people use the word, where you know reach, now there you know.
End, yeah.
Another person, you will continue
yeah.
from there. So we are all called. It doesn't matter where you belong. We are all called. The question here is that, how can you know what you are called to do? It's by listening to yourself. It's by listening to yourself. The Spirit will minister and you will know. You will just know. Not quite long, I saw that we all have a chi. How can one relate with his or her own? Okay, now, I am not one of those people that build my knowledge, my spiritual knowledge, on human ideology. When you use the word chi is it a Chinese word or an Indian word?
Is an Igbo word.
No, it's not an Igbo word though.
My chi.
No, you told you it's Igbo.
I've heard Igbo people say that my chi.
Don't mind them. They don't know what they are. They always collect it. Chi means energy. Chi means energy. But the Igbo meaning of chi means a guardian spirit. You get it now? Chi in Igbo means a guardian spirit. But the original word of chi comes from what? The Chinese mythology and spirituality, meaning energy. So I don't know which chi I mean. Which chi you means? No. Anurak. Don't confuse it. Chi. Don't say chi beside energy also mean no. Chi is an Igbo word which means a guardian angel, guardian spirit. The original word shi is a Chinese mythology which means energy. They are two different things. Energy and guardian spirit is a two different thing entirely. You get it now? So what you mean, is it the chi, your guardian spirit, or chi, your energy?
I think she's talking about, or he is talking about, the chi guardian spirit.
Is it the chi guardian spirit you mean, or chi the energy? How can one relate with his or her own chi?
I think the she.
If the chi you means, okay,
the guardian spirit.
The guardian spirit, how can one relate with it spiritually? Okay, guardian spirit, good. Do I relate with my own guardian spirit? No. Anybody that tell you that you should relate with your guardian spirit is a liar. You can never relate with your guardian spirit as long as you are still a human being. You must be spirit for you to relate with your guardian spirit. But as a spiritual person, the moment you attain a level of spirituality, you are able to relate with spirits. But no single soul ever meets his or her guardian spirit, because we don't have guardian spirit. What you call a guardian spirit is you yourself. It is you. That's why you hear things like my name, my wife, my children. That's not me. My name is Uzihben, but I'm not Uzihben. My name is Uzihben, but I am not Uzihben. So who am I? I am the reminder, and my name is Uzihben. So your guardian spirit is you. Is you that is talking to me right now. You are your own. You are yourself. So now, how do you discover your own self? Is first separating what you own from yourself. People say you are a thief. No, you are not a thief. You are a spirit entirely. Thief is another person's ideology about you. Anurak is the name that was given to you. That is not you. So how do you discover your own self? I've been able to see myself. I've been able to see my wife's spirit. I've been able to see different people's spirit. I've been able to see Rose spirit. I've seen Candy's spirit. And I told Candy, if I describe how your spirit look like, you will not sleep in the night. Anurak, there is possibility that your spirit might just be a serpent with the head of a human and the head of a lion and the tail of a dragon and the tongue of an elephant. The moment you discover your true spirit, you become the most powerful being on earth. Nothing can happen to you. No human can do you any harm. That is why I can talk confident. That is why I can go to the sea and command the sea and they will answer me. So your guardian angel, they tell you guardian angel is a spiritual scam, so that you are looking for a spirit that you think is your guardian, but is a lie. It's a demon that will appear to you as your guardian angel, and you start reducing your spirituality, worshiping a spirit demon. Your guardian angel, your guardian spirit is your own self. Discover who you are, and you'll be the most powerful being to have ever walked the surface of this earth. God bless you. Another question.
God bless you. Please throw in your questions. You can send in your questions.
We are going to have another podcast tomorrow. By then, my wife must have done her research to ask me questions. She does not know is when she asks me question, that's when I have something to say. If you don't ask me question, I cannot say anything.
I'm sorry about today. I was so tired.
Can you give a little interpretation on dreams? I have one I'd like to know. I'm not giving that gift of dream interpretation. I don't have that gift. Good. George talk. That's a good one. Discover the God in you and help others discover theirs. God bless you, George talk. Somebody should write that down. Somebody should write that quote down. Another question, please. Do you have any other question, please? Is there any difference between, okay, George talk is saying, is there any difference between, let me see this George talk.
Prophecy and forecast.
Okay, George Talker is George Talker. George Talker, I think this person he has been a faithful follower. Okay, George Talker said, is there any difference between prophecy and forecasting? Okay, prophecy is declaring a word. Prophecy is declaring a word. Now, when a human declares a word, the spirit answers if you are powerful enough, and they will do it. But when the spirit declares a word, it's a prophecy about what will happen in the future given to mankind. So you can see where the prophets are saying, this is a prophecy from the Lord that this year there will be famine. It is a declaration of what will happen to mankind in the future. While when man declares it, it's when you are prophesying into the life of someone, you will be successful. Meaning you are declaring something in the life of that person to happen in the future. Some of you, when a pastor declare prophecy on you, you want the prophecy to happen in 3 months. When you prophesy into the life of people, it takes years for it to come to pass. Because the prophecy have to undergo what is called validation.
So a prophecy cannot just come instantly.
No, a prophecy cannot just come to pass. When a pastor start prophesying in your life, for example, are prophesying in your life, you will make it in life. It cannot happen. The prophecy have to undergo what is called validation. First, the prophecy presents itself before the creator of the heavens and earth. Because words are like life. When they present themselves, I'm a prophecy, I've been sent into the life of so person that by so year or sometime in the future, this person should be successful, should make impact in the entertainment industry, for example. Then when the prophecy is received in the spiritual realm, they want to validate who made the prophecy. Are you with me? You are supposed to be with me.
I'm with you.
Good. You are looking at your phone. You are not with me.
No, I'm with you.
Good.
I'm with you.
Now, they will now validate who pronounced the prophecy. When that person is validated, if that person does not have the power to prophesy, the prophecy cannot work in the life of who it has been prophesied on. If the person prophesying had done something spiritual, it can even affect you negatively that they are prophesying onto. So it's not everybody you go and meet to say, sir, please prophesy into my life. It's not prophecy that comes to pass. Why forecasting is trying to look at the prophecy or the destiny of people that has not come to pass. So you want to find out, will Uzihben buy a car next year? Which is wrong. You cannot still know. Because the knowledge of the future is hidden from mankind. The knowledge of the future is hidden from mankind. Men are not permitted to have the knowledge of the future. So I don't know if you get I don't know if you got the answer I gave. Another question. Another question is from who again? Let me see. This question is coming from. Okay. Thanks for the lecture. Let me reason others and get back to you. Okay, thank you, Anurag. I love you. I like when people actually ask me questions. That's when I can actually talk. Who then is to blame if these prophecies don't come to pass? good. Number one, okay, I think I didn't touch something. Let me tell you. After validating who is prophesying, they also validate your life. You that are prophesying in your life. Does this prophecy align itself with your destiny? If it does not, it will not come to pass. You cannot prophesy into the life of George Tucker and say, I prophesy to your life, you will be the president of Nigeria. Whereas your destiny is to be a man of God, or your destiny is to be a medical doctor. The prophecy is useless. It cannot work. So, before a man, that's why I tell you, you cannot just go to church or follow any spiritualist. As a spiritual father, you must know your children, know their destiny, and pray according to their destiny. I told all my watered member, you cannot be telling me to pray for you when you are not doing anything. No. Right now, if I want to pray for Mr. Michael, my prayer will not be, God, give him more insight to write more life-changing books, and those books should attain what? Best-selling. So because now I understand what he is doing. He is fulfilling his destiny as an author, and he definitely can end up becoming a best-selling author in the next 1 year. I cannot say I pray for you that Mr. Michael, you God should bless you that you will come and run for president or governor. Let that one be something you decide to want to do. I cannot say, okay, I pray that it go well with you, but let it be the will of, if it is the will of God, so shall it be. A pastor was praying, say, even if God does not want it, I pray that God will allow this. I say, oh dear, you don't have sense. Even if God does not want it, because they've given you money to pray, you want to say God should allow it. This is why I feel all we have these days are mere forecaster. Yes, even the ones that forecast, they don't tell you the truth also. We all know God is the most spiritual being in life. So, beside him, being life. Okay. One last question. Okay. This is probably a complicated question, but would actually love a honest answer. Okay. I'm waiting for your question. Between working with the water spirit and probably a native daughter, which is better? Some native daughter work with the water spirits. Some native daughter, they call them witch daughter. They consult powers from the sea to do their work. God created both the good and bad. So the water spirits are spirits from the waters. Except your question is between worshiping the true God, which is the ancient waters, which is the ancient spirits, or meeting somebody like me that believe in the spirituality of the water, and a native doctor that is a witch doctor. It's obvious that myself is better. Look at my house. This is where I pray from. I go to the beach. You cannot see dirt in my house. The Bible already said it, that cleanliness is next to godliness. How can you compare my house to the house of a native doctor that blood is smelling? Everywhere is smelling. Everywhere is scattered. They are putting idols everywhere. Yeah. Idols that are made from wood.
Coming from where Anurak asked a question right now, what's the difference between a water spirit and a marine spirit? What's the difference?
Is that what?
What's the difference between a water spirit and a marine spirit?
There's no difference. It's the same thing. Marine and water, they are just synonymous.
I know marine and water.
Somebody on YouTube was trying to explain the difference between marine spirit and water spirit, and I was like, even in the religion of water, people are still ignorant. It is language. The difference is language.
Yes, I know.
Marine.
I know the difference is language, but many a time we've used the word.
So it's
marine.
So there's no difference. It is people's ignorance.
She's possessed with marine spirits.
It's people's ignorance. Marine spirit, water spirit is the same. Marine is related to water. Water is water. So there's no difference.
Okay, so how do I phrase it? Okay, now recently we had somebody saying she's from the water. She's a serpent from the water. I think
she's not from the water now.
I think that's the question I want to ask. Okay, what's the difference between somebody possessed with marine spirits and somebody
worshipping
the marine spirits?
Good. Someone that is possessed by marine spirits is being possessed by the marine spirit. The person that is worshiping marine spirit will also be possessed by the marine spirit. Except your question is, what is the difference between those who are possessed by the marine spirit or people who are from the marine world?
Okay.
Good. You are being possessed. So definitely you are going to do according to the spirit that is possessing you. You are a living spirit from the marine. It is hard for you to be possessed. Like me, it is hard for any spirit to possess me. Because I am 100% aware of myself. I'm active spiritually. You can't possess me. Because I'm already possessing a body. This body. I'm already possessing Uzihben. Uzihben was born by the mother. And I possess Uzihben.
Okay.
You understand that? So that's why I said my name is Uzihben, but I am not Uzihben.
So why will you say that?
This is what?
A laptop.
This is a laptop computer. That is what? A laptop computer. What is the name of that laptop computer?
HP.
Does it make that laptop computer HP? No, that is the name. What is the name of this laptop computer? Apple. But they are both laptop computers, but they bear different names and they have different function and they have different destiny. It's obvious people will prefer to go with this laptop computer than to go with that HP, but it does not make them the same. So the fact that my name is Uzihben does not mean I am Uzihben. Okay, someone said, okay, because I had a dream sometime. Let me talk about
libation.
Let's talk about prayer. Okay. Larry said
libation.
Okay, there are plenty questions here between working with the water spirits and probably a nature which, okay, I've answered that. How can I connect with the waters? Can you connect with the water? By asking the question, you are already connecting. The fact that you are asking the question, Anurak, the fact that you are asking that question, you are already connecting. The first step is to ask. When you ask, it means you are longing for something. So I can only give you what you should do now that you are ready to connect with the water spirit. First, go to a body of water and recognize God. Call God to that body of water. Recognize Him and look for a spiritual movement that believe in the powers of the water. Preferably, the most safest religion on earth today that I can recommend, where you can serve and worship the true God via the water, is the watered religion. And the website is www.thewateredreligion.com. Okay, Larry said libation. Does it relate with acknowledgement?
Is it the same with acknowledgement?
No, libation is like a drink offering. Is drink offering. You are offering something. Libation. You are offering drink. Acknowledgement can be done without using drink. You can just say it. Thank you. I know that you are there. I know that you are saving me. That's acknowledgement. So they are not the same. Now, George Talk said, let's talk about prayer, sir. Do you pray? Have you experienced answered and unanswered prayers? You want to answer that?
Yes.
Oh, you answer that.
Okay. When you talk about prayer,
Is asking me if I pray.
If he prays, yes, he does. Let me give myself as an example. Something happened this morning, right? This early morning, and my brother-in-law called me and said, your sister is very sick, as in, I don't understand, I don't know what's happening to her. She's very, very sick, and she has been like this for the past 3 days. And I asked him a question: have you taken her to the hospital? He said no, they've not gone to the hospital, but and they've not taken any medication also. So while we're talking on phone, the reminder just said, tell him to sprinkle water on her face, to bless water and sprinkle on her face. And I told him while we're talking, and I told him, I said, just do this: sprinkle water, bless water and sprinkle on her face. That's a form of prayer, right?
Yes, now.
That's a form of short, it's just a short prayer. You might look at it as a short prayer. Now, that
prayer is like a command.
Is a command, yes.
So
now that word came, and it was accompanied by a prayer, by a command, using the water as a channel for healing, commanding the water to do something.
That's prayer.
I tried calling them in the morning. Their numbers were not going through. He's a pastor in Winners Chapel. So I called him. I think I called him in the afternoon. That was when he picked and said they were still in church, and he was charging his phone. And I asked him, how is my sister? And funny enough, do you know what he told me? He said, she's perfect, she's fine, like he has never seen her this strong. That immediately he finished sprinkling the water on her, just saying a short prayer and sprinkling the water on her, she just stood up, entered the kitchen. This is somebody that had been down for the past 3 days. Entered the kitchen, prepared food, ate, got ready, and said, let's go to church. And they went to church. And it was not like, don't stress yourself too much. She's a children teacher. She went to the children unit. She taught like with she herself. She said she doesn't even know where that strength came from.
Now, the difference.
So that's the answer prayer. That's the prayer answered.
Now, if the man would have done that thing without me giving the instruction, nothing would have happened.
Okay.
By now, your sister would have been in the hospital.
Okay.
Get it now? So a command was given, and a spirit followed the command. That is why when a prophet gives you a command, follow it back to back. The Bible said, he said, and Joshua, is it Joshua? No. Samuel said, then what is the bleating and the who I'm hearing? He said, the people brought it so they can make sacrifice to your God. He said, had the Lord have so much delight in sacrifice than in obeying his word? For truly, obedience is better than sacrifice, and attentiveness than fat of ram. There is one thing to be attentive before you can obey. The first step of obeying is first being attentive to hear what the prophet or the spiritual man is telling you. Some of you, I will be on live and I will be giving instruction, you will not hear. The next thing is, sir, I was the lady you were talking to, what did you say I should do? I will say, I can't remember. And it's true. Majority of the time when I'm giving instruction, I forget after, because the message was meant for you, it's not for me. I can never remember. So yes, I have prayed. A lady came to meet me. My husband is being abusive. What do you want? I'm tired of the marriage. I just stretched water to the sea. I said, go. On her way going, the man said, I'm no longer interested in the marriage. He ended the marriage. The woman called me, sir, my husband ended the marriage. I said, congratulations. He said, no, I was just joking. No. Are you serious? Are you playing? You are joking. I said, come back. She came back. I went back to the sea. I said, give her the marriage back. And today they are still married.
Okay.
So
George
God
Tucker,
answer.
George Tucker is saying, which have you experienced the most, answered prayer or unanswered prayer? I would say answered prayer. The reason why I would say answered prayer for me is the reason why some persons will say my prayers were not answered is because of patience.
Okay.
It's because of patience. You pray about a thing and you want it right there and then.
Doesn't work that way.
God is not a magician. God is not the devil that will rob Paul
to pay Peter.
God is a God of process. It takes process for everything. It takes process for everything. So when you pray about something today, the answer is already given. It just needs your time. God just needs your time. But so many of us were so very patient. That's why we say, I beg you, not even answer.
Yes.
The prayer not work. You understand? So I will not say so many unanswered prayer. I have not gotten any unanswered prayer. All my prayers have been answered. Even if I have not seen them come to manifestation, I know they are answered already. And when I start getting the manifestation, I will not even remember that I once asked something or I once commanded something.
Okay, someone is asking a very important question. He said, can water, this is Genesis, can water spirits to be
can water spirit be the reason of backwardness and stagnation in someone's life for almost 2 years?
Are you telling us that your life has been stagnant for 2 years now and they told you it's water spirit? Let me tell you something. Any spirit that comes from the water, as long as it's a good spirit, does not create stagnation. The reason why you are stagnant is you spend more time on TikTok than on reading books that will add value to your life. You spend more time on doing things that will not add value to you. If you start doing things that add value to you, you will not see water spirit. Because Dangote is not thinking about the witch in his family. You are going around killing the witch in your family. Dangote is not thinking about the witch in his family. You are the one thinking of the witch in your family. Because Dangote has done the sacrifice before Benson Dawusa when he was alive. Now he's enjoying from the fruits.
That's like answered prayer.
Good.
Then it was like an unanswered prayer, but now it's answered.
Okay, let me see. Okay, who is saying? Okay, Anuraki said, please sir, I asked something is scattered around, check please. Okay, he said, till now I have been trying to phantom. I don't interpret dreams. I don't understand what it means for an old woman to turn to a young girl, so I don't know. Let me tell you something. Since I've been spiritual, nobody has ever appeared to me in the dream to say, I will bless you. You have been, that's a demon. That's a demon. How many of you that God has blessed that somebody appear in your dream and say, I will bless you? You don't need anybody to appear to you in the dream to bless. It's a lie. That's a demon trying to possess you, trying to take your wealth and be giving you peanuts. That be blessing you small. Does it work that way?
More questions? Rose, your question, please.
Question, please.
Sky Eye, your question.
All right, I think we have to end now, right?
Yes.
Thank you guys for coming in. You can visit my website uzihben.com, book an appointment. I have been experiencing difficulty and someone told me I need to please the water. Don't please any water. You just need to be more spiritual and fight your battles. water is not against anyone. Water e no get enemy, so why are you going to please water? They come out and tell you please water. If water does not have enemy, why do you think that water is angry with you? You go and please the water. Please don't do anything, or you will only put yourself in wahala. Water e no get enemy, go and please water. Yes, there is your body have more than 70% of water. The water will just strangle you and kill you now if you have problem with the water.
Thank you, Josh Tucker. Thank you very much.
Okay, we are going to have this tomorrow again by 10 p.m. We are going to have this tomorrow by 10 p.m. And please, our main podcast is coming Thursday next week. If you are interested in being part of the podcast, please chat me up, send me a message on my Instagram, Uzihben official. We will invite you down here and we'll have general discussion. We'll talk about spirituality, we'll debate, we will discuss in detail. If you live in Lagos or you can find your way to Lagos, please chat me up. I need 2 people to join us in this discussion. I'd love to. You'd love to. Do you want to? It's not you'd love to. I want people that can come.
If you are in Lagos, you can come.
Or if you are even if you are in US and you can make it to Nigeria on Thursday, come. So how many of you want to come to this podcast by next week Thursday? It's not going to be in the night, it will not be in the day.
That's this week Thursday. I need